Alrighty, so welcome to your freedom flow practice. I'll invite you to find a comfortable seated position, whatever that might be for you. And I'll remind you that you might choose to sit up onto a prop in hero's pose. Some of us aren't comfortable with our knees open in a crisscross position, so we can use a prop and sit on it like this, or maybe you'll choose to sit even in a chair or the edge of a couch. So whatever makes sense to you and your body. Go ahead and arrange yourself, propping legs, arranging your ankles, finding something that feels supportive and easeful in your spine. We're gonna begin our practice today with the sound of the gong to help bring us into this sacred space of integrating body, mind, and breath through the practice of yoga. So as you settle yourself in, I'll invite you to close your eyes and start to settle the mind to the sound and sensation of the breath. And just let the sound of the gong ground you. Paying attention to the ebb and flow of the breath. We'll draw our palms together, rest our chin towards our chest, and take some time breathing into the back of the neck. Relaxing the shoulders, surrendering the weight of the cranium gently forward, and opening the back of the neck to that easy flow of the breath. Gently lifting the head now. I'm going to invite us to take our fingertips together and start to pull our palms apart. So fingertips are together and we're pulling palms apart and then pressing hands back together. So just a little wake up for the hands, nice and easy. Continuing to pay attention to the way that you're connecting the hands, pressing the palms together, keeping the fingertips touching as you pull the wrists apart. Wonderful. Go ahead and interlace the fingers now and start to roll those wrists around, matching those oceanic waves of your breath with a little oceanic wave of your wrists. See whatever you're doing and see if it's reversible. Nice. All right, let's press those palms towards the center of our virtual circle here, reaching the palms forward. Nice stretch for the wrists and the forearms, opening those thumbs down towards the earth, the pinkies upward. And taking some time to breathe into the back of the lungs. And if you find your mind wandering, I'll invite you to just count the beats of your breath. Inhaling perhaps for 3 or 4 or even 5 or 6 counts, and then exhaling for that same number of beats. Let's stretch the arms all the way overhead now. The pinkies are going to try to reach behind you and the thumbs forward. Let the armpits open. The elbows are going to bend according to your shoulders. And take a few breaths here, just continuing to extend the palms upward. Monitoring that nice, equanimous ebb and flow of the breath. Notice the heart space here. And if you feel like you're falling backwards in space, bring the heart up a little higher. Adjust your pelvis, adjust your legs, invite even more ease in finding space between the rib cage and the pelvis. Let's flow. Right fingertips falling to the earth as we exhale and stretching that left arm overhead. Inhaling as you push off, up and over. Exhaling as you fall to the left hand. As you move at your own breath's pace from side to side, keep the weight of the leg bones heavy, the pelvis grounded, noticing sensations in the hips as you stretch gently from side to side. Inhaling, both arms overhead, and exhaling, interlaced fingers behind the skull. So relax the shoulders and land in your own personal hammock. On an in-breath, press the elbows against the fabric of the hammock, reach them wide open, and then exhale. Let the hammock pull your elbows back inward and draw the chin towards the chest gently. Inhale, opening wide. Exhale, curling in. Continuing to move at your own breath's pace, you may notice a natural response in the pelvis, letting the pelvis naturally rock in response to the movement at the top of the spine. Whatever feels delicious and organic for you in your body, in this breath, in this moment. Exhaling and holding this rounded position for a few more breaths. Directing the breath once again to the back of the neck and also into the space between the shoulder blades. Releasing your hands, walk your fingertips to the back of the skull and around as you slowly lift your head. Do piano fingers around the back of your ears, noticing any places that feel sensitive, around the back of the skull, the occipital ridge, even coming down now to the back of the neck and around toward the jaw. So let your fingers do the walking around your skull now. Anywhere that they want to go, anywhere that your skull is asking for some attention, maybe around the front of the ears, the temples, the forehead, the eyebrows, even the cheekbones. Just noticing where you might want to release just a little bit of muscular tension through this attention of your fingertips against the skull, the jaw. And we're going to relax our arms now and just drop them behind the back. Interlace the fingers or simply reach the fingertips towards the earth behind you and draw those shoulder blades in towards one another. Here, the head may remain neutral, or you may feel the urge to turn the head ever so subtly or drop the chin once again. Honor your body wisdom here, inviting the shoulder blades to kiss one another behind the heart, melting the shoulder blades in toward one another. Stretching the arm bones behind you, breathing across the front of the chest, across the front of the shoulders. This might even be a place where we want to return our attention to the mouth, the jaw, the tongue, sticking out the tongue. On an exhale, releasing the jaw, making the lion face. Go ahead and release the hands, sweep them open. Let's extend our wings. Open up the palms, open up the fingers. The shoulder blades are still connecting behind the heart, so we're supporting the arms with our upper spine and the muscles between those shoulder blades, drawing in. On an exhale, we're going to reach the right arm across the body and bend the left elbow so that the left hand takes a hold of the right arm. My left elbow is resting at my side and I'm gently guiding that right arm across the body. Here we can turn the chin gently from shoulder to shoulder. So our attention is moving into the right shoulder. We're breathing into the right lung, and we might enjoy turning the head towards the right shoulder or alternating, shifting the chin from shoulder to shoulder. Breathing deeply here. If you find your mind wandering, bring your attention to the sensations in the body and consider counting the breath again. Noticing how you're holding your face, your tongue, your jaw, your forehead, your eyes, softening in their focus. Let's bring it to the other side. We'll guide the right elbow towards the side of the body, and we'll extend the left arm, resting it into the right hand. Breathing into the left shoulder, breathing into the left lung, noticing the neck, noticing the scalp, noticing where we may hold unnecessary muscular tension as we explore the left shoulder with compassion and curiosity. Lots of breath. And when it feels complete for you, we'll release the left elbow to the body. Rest the palms open. And let's move into the neck a little bit more, chin to chest. And rolling the head from side to side like a pendulum. We inhale ear to shoulder. We exhale chin to chest. Inhale ear to shoulder. Exhale chin to chest. Take your time here and allow the head to continue to explore whatever range of motion feels exactly right to you. Relax the shoulders and allow them to surrender and respond to the weight of the cranium. You may find yourself rolling in a full circle or any other pattern of movement that feels organic for you. Heavy elbows, heavy wrists, dropping the weight of the arms. Relaxing and exploring the neck. Breathing deeply. Noticing where you naturally desire to exhale through the mouth, and of course, allowing whatever feels exactly right for you. And we'll take our time now, slowly making our way towards a neutral position, pausing in stillness and observing the sensations in the neck and the shoulders. Moving into some cat-cows. Perhaps you'll choose to stay seated, inviting the heart space forward on the inhale and back on the exhale. Maybe you'll feel ready to come onto hands and knees at some point. Honor your body wisdom. Inhaling, the heart rolls forward. Exhaling, the heart pulls back. Rolling into the spine, continuing to invite the full articulation from crown to tail. And exploring any variations of cat-cow that feel good to you. Maybe you're ready to roll around into the side bodies in some way, shape, or form. Shifting into the hips, the shoulders, whatever feels good to you. Keep rolling through the spine until you naturally arrive in something like a back bend. Maybe if you're seated, you'll place your hands under the sit bones, draw the elbows and shoulders back and the heart high. If you're on your hands and knees, you may feel ready to come into a camel pose. Finding Ustrasana, working at your own breath's pace, relaxing the pelvis, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tongue, relaxing your gaze forward or even to the tip of your nose. Breathing ever more deeply into the heart space, filling the heart with prana. When it feels complete for you, taking a forward fold. If you're seated, rest your torso forward and collect your forehead with a prop. If you're on your knees, think about propping even behind your knees, across the top of your belly, or your thighs rather, to collect your belly and heart, and even bringing in then a prop for your forehead. Resting in a child pose here, dropping muscular tension, surrendering the bones to gravity, and breathing into the back side of the body. Opening the back of the body to the breath. Deep breathing into the back of the lungs. Deep breathing into the back of the pelvis. Deep breathing into the back of the neck. Breathing even more deeply into the space between the ears. Inviting the weight of the skull to fall even more heavily. Gently rock the forehead upon its prop for a few breaths, noticing any sensations in the neck, in the shoulders, in the scalp. We'll use our hands and carefully rise up either to a seated position or to all fours again. Let's find a twist. So we're going to open the left arm away from the body. If we're on hands and knees, we're going to keep perhaps the right fingertips on the floor, lifting up and out of the right wrist, out of the right shoulder. If we're seated, we'll simply keep the right hand on the right knee and turn the left arm open. Let's find our twist now. Left arm scooping under, threading the needle, or taking a seated twist, the left hand comes towards the right knee. So left hand towards right knee, right hand is behind you as a point of leverage to assist the alignment of your spine. If you're on all fours, that left arm scoops under and we'll take the right palm into the left palm to direct the right shoulder back towards the right ear. Breathing deeply, rolling in the upper spine, checking in with the neck, noticing the neck. If you're on hands and knees, the left ear is dropping heavily. You may choose to use a prop under the head. That often makes a big difference in the way that we're able to safely access this twist. Breathing deeply here, rotating in the upper spine. Our focus is the space between the shoulder blades. Melting that space with the breath. Working with any variations of the pose that you're in, honoring your body wisdom. And taking your time with it. When it feels complete for you, the right hand finds the mat or the right knee, and the left arm reaches open and away. We can come back to a neutral spine, perhaps taking a gentle cat-cow motion. And when you're ready, transitioning to neutral and the right arm opening to the sky. Reaching away from the body with the right arm, using the left hand as a point of leverage from which to open. Exhaling and scooping the right arm under, right ear towards the earth, or if you're seated, it's the right hand that comes across towards the left knee, and the left fingertips that are going to find their point of leverage slightly behind you. Allowing for whatever variation of this twist makes sense to you and your body in this moment. Checking in with your neck. Breathing deeply here. Melting the space between the shoulder blades with your breath. When it feels complete for you, transitioning carefully. Left hand finds the floor or your left knee, and the right arm reaches away. Finding your way now towards a spinal stretch. Let's make our way to a downward facing dog of your choice. So some of us are comfortable in a classic downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Some of us are going to be happier in a puppy pose. Some of us will come to our feet and place our hands at a prop like the wall or the back of a chair and take a standing version of downward facing dog. Honoring your body wisdom here, extending through the armpits, opening them up to the breath, extending through the elbows. I'll recommend that you keep your knees bent, your heels heavy, your pelvis pulling up and away. Once again, check in with your neck. And when it's feeling complete for you, walking your feet towards your hands, we'll all meet up in a standing forward fold, wrapping the arms around the backs of the legs. Let the weight of the skull fall even more heavily here. Bending the knees deeply, resting the belly to your thighs, inviting a full surrender of the spine. Taking a few more breaths here, consider any other bind that your body is desiring. Activate your feet. Find your big toes. Wiggle the toes around. Notice how you're working with your feet. Releasing the arms, we're going to roll up through the spine, arms and head dangling heavily. We're articulating the spine with care, rounding up as you inhale. Arms will extend overhead as you come to the top of your breath. And we'll move into a little salutation here. So, taking an exhale as you swan dive forward. Wrapping the arms around the legs. Inhale to press away with a flat back position. Exhale, release back down. And inhale to roll up through the spine. Big toes pressing. Arms sweeping overhead. Exhale, swan diving forward. Wrap the arms around bent knees. Inhale, press away. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, rolling up again. One more time. Inhaling, all arms overhead. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, press away. Exhale, release down. Inhale, rolling up again. And we'll take a moment with our palms together at our heart space. So we're going to keep warming up the legs and the body with a little goddess flow. So I'm going to invite us to turn sideways on our mats. Open your toes, draw your ankles in, let the elbows come to shoulder height, palms open. We're going to push into the earth with our feet. Let the pelvis lower, elbows at shoulder height, palms open. And we're going to extend through the arms and the legs as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to push into the earth as we lower the pelvis. Inhale, extending outward, reaching the palms and the arms and legs long. And exhaling, bending elbows, bending knees, lowering pelvis. Taking it at your own breath's pace. Keep active in your feet. Keep pushing into the earth for strength. Heart high. Zippy, keep your heart a little further forward. Think about leaning forward instead of leaning back. Arms extending as you lengthen the legs and arms bending as you bend the knees. That's it. Yes, heart forward. Not chin, but heart. That's always the challenge, isn't it? Taking a few more breaths here, lifting the heart space, pushing into the earth with your feet. Nice work, everybody. All right, stay with me. We're dropping into goddess. We're wiggling our toes now, toes high. See if you can get those toes off the floor, the balls and the heels of the feet pushing and the toes rising. Nice work. Stretch the toes to the earth, lengthen the arms and the legs, swing the arms, give your shoulders a break, rotate the toes together, toe heel your feet back together a little bit. And let's step from side to side a few times and just swing the arms. Let this movement be free. We're stepping toward the direction that we're twisting. So if you're stepping into the right foot, you're twisting towards the right. Let the arms swing. Let the spine spiral gently. Think less. Breathe more. There we go. All right. So let yourself continue to move a little bit more in any way, shape, or form that feels groovy to you. It doesn't have to be twisting anymore. Just let the body move around on your mat in your space. Let some sound fall from your mouth. Just be whatever needs to happen in your body in this moment. Maybe some hip circles, some shoulder circles, whatever your body is craving here. Wonderful. So We're going to make our way towards neutral, standing still here. After all that movement, allow yourself the blessing of stillness. Notice the challenge of stillness. Relax your arms at your sides. There's nothing to do. Everything is perfect. Just be in your body, in your breath, in this moment. With gratitude for your bones and their endless support, take a moment now to transition. We're going to step to the front of the mat, standing with our hands at our hips. We're going to start to march, lifting one foot at a time. You may choose to keep the tippy toe on the floor so that you don't have to feel uncomfortable if your balance is questionable. Keep your gaze straight forward and allow for a transition of weight from foot to foot. If you're taking the foot off the floor, do so mindfully. It doesn't have to be lifted high. Mostly, I'm interested in encouraging your attention to your feet. Noticing the way that you're transitioning weight from foot to foot, the way that you're putting your foot down, and the way that you're picking your foot up. Nice work, everybody. See if you can find your way to stand on the right foot and consider holding either the left tippy toes on the floor or even taking your time to balance with the left foot up. From this balanced position on your right leg, we're going to soften the right knee and swing the left foot behind us to land in warrior one. The back heel is grounded and turned in at an angle. Each foot has its own lane. The right knee is stacked on top of the left. The hips are soft. We'll stretch our arms out and up. And let's repeat this movement, flowing the arms up on the in-breath and drawing the palms down through the midline on the out-breath. Inhale, sweep your arms out, stretch your wings, and exhale, draw the palms back down through the midline, touching the heart space, and repeating one more time. Inhaling. Last time, the arms are going to remain overhead. You might even touch your fingertips overhead as well. Relax the pelvis, push into the earth with your feet. Back leg is long, front leg is bent, but equal energy between the feet. Exhale, we're going to come to humble warrior. The arms are going to sweep forward and down and back. Inhale, sweeping the arms back up again, tailbone dropping. Exhale, belly button to spine, rounding as we look at our right big toe, swinging our arms back. Inhale, swinging the arms up. One more time. Exhale, hollow the belly, back leg long, reaching the arms behind you. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale now, palms to the heart space, and inhale, open to warrior two. We're opening the left toes, we're pressing the palms away from the body, and our gaze is past the right fingers. Take a few breaths here, pushing into the earth with the feet, and now lifting the heart space. Imagine that you're intending even more space between the rib cage and the pelvis, heart high and slightly forward. Tailbone dropping, heart high. Let's keep our wings extended and flow. Right arm high on the in-breath, and right arm reaching towards the right leg as we find triangle pose on the out-breath. Inhale, right knee bends, tailbone drops. Exhale, right leg lengthens, tailbone swings to the back heel. Moving with your own breath's pace. So, freedom flowers, allow yourself to move any way you like here. Find any other variations of poses that naturally occur for you and your body here. You may like to hang out in triangle. You may like to find Utthita Parshvottanasana. You may like to flow in any other way that comes naturally for you. Listen to your body wisdom, think less, breathe more. We can all meet up with the right arm high and the tailbone heavy in our reverse warrior, and then lengthening the right leg. We're going to bring our hands to our hips and transition around to the front foot again. Let's bring the weight to the right foot and reset the left foot so that we find a crescent lunge. The back heel is high here. Take another big breath here in crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, we're going to find our way into warrior 3. And so I'll invite you to bring your hands to your hips or even extend them out like wings, pushing off the back foot, and see if you can find your balance. Left heel pushing away, left toes flexing towards the earth, heart stays high. Taking flight, spread your wings a little wider. Reach the arms open a little further, and then swing the left knee in. Give yourself a big hug and shake it out. Do the hokey pokey, let it go. Whew. Nice work, everybody. Whew. Building a little heat now. Take a moment, perhaps, to hydrate. And when you're ready, come on back. Finding yourself at the front of the mat. Hands to your hips. And let's march just a couple times until we're ready to stand on our left foot. Finding our balance, eventually on the left foot. Standing tall on the left leg. The right tippy toes on the floor or the right foot high. Softening in the left knee and swinging back into your warrior 1. Right heel on an angle, dropping towards the midline, softening in the hips. Let's flow. Arms reaching out and up, spread your wings. Exhale, palms to the heart space. Pushing into each foot with equal action, long back leg. Second time. Reaching the arms out and up and back down through the midline. One more time, stretching long and open and exhaling, palms down through the center. This time we inhale and sweep the arms all the way up. Maybe the fingertips are touching overhead, armpits open. Tailbone dropping, right hip melting, long back leg, pushing into the earth with both feet with equal action. Take another big breath here, heart high, gaze high. Exhale, palms to the heart space. Inhaling, opening, warrior 2. Establish your warrior 2 position. Left knee stacked. Oh, thank you, David. I forgot let's return back to our warrior 1. And we'll flow, humble warrior. Exhale, rounding the spine, and inhale, sweeping back up. Exhale, rounding the spine, hollowing the belly. Inhale, sweeping the arms back up. One more time. Exhale, hollowing the belly, pushing into the feet. Inhale, sweeping back up. This time, exhale, palms to the heart. And inhale, reaching open, warrior two. And now as we establish our warrior two position, we're keeping an eye on that left knee, stacking it over the left ankle. Equal energy through both feet, and we flow. Left arm to the sky, big breath in. Exhale, left leg lengthens, tailbone swings to the back heel. Flowing back and forth with your own breath's pace here. Think less, feel more. Allow your feet to continue to dig into the earth for strength and stability. Keep your arms extended, your wings maintaining a sense of grace and balance as you flow. And allowing any variations of movement that come naturally to you here. Working at your own pace, honoring your body wisdom. The left knee is bent or forward in your stance, however you're working. Feet are active. Breath is full. Maybe hanging out a little longer in your triangle pose, whatever makes sense to you and your body in this moment. Beautiful listening. Take your time coming back, reversing the warrior. And straightening that left leg, we're going to transition carefully. So hands at the hips, we'll bend the left knee slowly as we shift weight towards the front foot. We readjust the back heel. Right heel rotates up and back. We're in our crescent lunge here. Now, remember last time we went into our warrior three pose, so give yourself a moment to envision yourself in warrior three. See it before you be it, and then press into the front foot. Swing the arms back if you like for balance. I highly recommend the extension of your arms. The right heel pushes back and the toes are attempting to rotate down towards the floor. Keep the heart high. Keep the gaze forward. Nice work. Soften the left knee as you swing the right knee inward. Give yourself a hug and shake it out. Ooh, make some noise. Release any of that muscular tension that might have accumulated in those movements. Fantastic. So here I'm going to invite us to take one more bit of attention to our shoulders. This is also an opportunity if you prefer to work with a balancing pose. So option one is hand to wall with our classic shoulder opener with the palm at the wall. Option number two is maybe hand up the top of the wall or just not even needing to use the wall as you like. Turn your left palm open and grab a hold of the left ankle, and you can work with just a little release across the front of that left thigh and hip. You also have the option here to move into Natrajasana. Breathing deeply, honoring your body wisdom, whatever makes sense to you in this moment. Just trust yourself. Heart high. Take your time moving through whatever pose you've chosen. When you're ready, give yourself a moment to transition. Let go of muscular tension. Reset the shoulders and the hips and transition. Making your way into the other shoulder if you like. placing that palm at the wall and rotating away from it, or standing on the left foot and turning your right palm to the inside of the right ankle, dropping the right knee, working with any variation of Natarajasana, dancer's pose, that might make sense to you. If you're working with the foot pushing back, think about pushing it into your hand, keeping the heart high, and extending with equal energy down into the earth with your standing foot, out through the back foot in your hand, and even up through the top hand. Opening shoulders any way that makes sense to you in your body here. Releasing in your own timing. Shaking it out. And for my freedom flowers who like to spend a little more time in downward facing dog, I'll invite you to transition into a downward facing dog from a standing position on your way down to your mat. If you're not a downward facing dog lover, go ahead and transition to your mat exactly as it feels right to you. And when you're ready, we're going to be finding ourselves in our open heart lotus. So take your time, stretching out, working with your downward facing dog, working with any flow that comes naturally for you. You may be inclined to explore some upward facing dog time. And ultimately, I'll invite you to take yourselves into this open heart lotus pose. So grab a prop to create a little runway for your spine. The idea here is not about lifting up off the floor too much. It's more about just creating enough of a lift that you can feel the drop of the arms, the opening of the shoulders. That's where the magic is happening. So you may be satisfied with a simple pillow along your spine. Maybe a rolled up towel or a blanket will be adequate. You may choose to place a second prop underneath it for a little bit more lift if that's satisfying for you. And let's bring in some props so that the soles of the feet can touch and the knees can fall open. You'll notice here that my head is aligned with my heart. I'm not dropping my head back. So make sure that the neck and head are supported. Falling open in this supine variation of Baddha Konasana / fish. Breathing deeply here, resting the bones even more heavily with each exhale. Falling open to the breath. Observing the breath as it dances across the heart. Falling open across the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists, resting even more heavily to the earth. The leg bones supported so that the pelvis is at ease. No strain in the groins or the low back. Please feel free to make adjustments along the way, honoring your body wisdom. Arms open wide and heavy to the earth at your sides. Palms open, armpits opening, heart opening. As as you notice the mind taking a little ride on a little construct of thought, celebrate your consciousness, your awareness, and gently guide your attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to surrender. Allowing Mother Earth to hold you exactly as you need to be held in this moment. Welcoming the light of Father Sun into the heart space. Encouraging the flower of your heart to blossom in the warmth of the sun. Taking 3 more breaths here and inviting the exhale to fall from the mouth. At the 3rd exhale, slowly begin to gather your arms towards your core, your knees towards each other, and roll gently over to one side. Resting on your side for a moment, giving yourself a few breaths. Transitioning at your own pace to a seated position. Let's find a forward fold of our choice. So yogi's choice now. That means you may like to have your legs straight forward. You may like to bend your knees and keep the soles of the feet touching. You may even like to open into a straddle. Or there may be some other movement or shape that your body is desiring as you forward fold. I do recommend support under the belly, under the heart, under the skull. Finding that Goldilocks just right forward fold for you in this body, in this breath, in this moment. Breathing deeply, encouraging that consistency of breath. Once again, consider counting the breaths, quieting the mind to the simple ebb and flow of the breath, dropping muscular tension with each exhale. Taking your time in this forward fold, allowing your own body wisdom to guide you. When it feels right to you, we're going to make our way onto our backs and into happy baby, continuing to access our hips, our low back. Settling the pelvis, dropping the tailbone, releasing the skull, inviting the ankles up in any way, shape, or form that makes sense to you and your body in this moment. Relaxing shoulders, surrendering to gravity. Whatever grip it is that you choose, whatever form it is that your body falls into here, allow for muscular tension to melt with each exhale. Head is heavy, shoulders are relaxed. You may turn your head gently from side to side. Breathing ever more deeply here. Relaxing the groins, relaxing the low back. Breathing fully into the pelvis and the abdomen, and exhaling just as completely, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Couple more cleansing breaths here, focusing on the work of the abdomen. And we can take ourselves slowly now, drawing the knees in towards the chest and gently rocking from side to side. We'll bring our feet now slowly toward the side edges of the mat, and we'll open the arms out like wings. Here we're going to find a full range of motion in our hips. As we drop the knees over towards the right, the left knee is rotating towards the midline, and we're accessing the psoas, the hip flexors, and the quadricep of the left leg. At the same time, the right knee is falling open, so we're accessing an external rotation in the right hip. When you're ready, inhaling, the left knee starts to roll open, the pelvis rocks, and it's the pelvis that pulls the second knee over. Here we can rest again, accessing the right hip, right psoas, hip flexor, quadricep, and allowing for that left hip to fall open, left knee dropping to the side. Inhaling, the top knee opens, the pelvis rocks, the second knee follows. Allow for a slow, gentle exploration of this range of motion from side to side. You'll feel a little massage across the sacral space as the leg bones rock from side to side. You'll feel lots of sensations in both hips. And give yourself as much time as you like. As you find some spot that wants a little more attention, don't hesitate to pause and breathe there. You may find it satisfying to rotate the nose in the opposite direction from the knees. Ultimately, gather the knees towards the chest. Pause with the knees together. And then release the left leg long and heavy. Resting here for another breath or two, heavy legs, relaxing the low back and breathing into the pelvic bowl. As it feels natural for you, draw the right knee across the body. As you stretch it across the body, you'll be receiving a stretch across the outside of the right hip. Let the right hip stack all the way on top of the left. You may choose to prop that right knee with a pillow or a block, and then let the right shoulder come off the mat naturally. Don't feel that you need to keep the shoulder planted. Let the right arm float into whatever position. It might require some support under the elbow. Right hip stacked on top of left hip. Relaxing the groins, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. Listening to your body wisdom, resting here as long as it feels delicious to you. When your body is ready, exhale to draw the right knee back to chest. Gather the left knee to join the right knee, pausing here and releasing the right leg long and heavy as you're ready. Apanasana, heavy right leg, left knee drawing to chest, breathing into the pelvic bowl. When you're feeling ready, the right hand guides the left knee across the body. Again, as you find your twist, you may feel some stretch across the outside of the left hip, rolling the left hip ultimately all the way up and over the right hip. Left hip above the right hip. Left knee may find a prop to stabilize it. Left elbow may find a prop to stabilize the left shoulder. And we breathe, relaxing the groins, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, the face, the tongue, the eyeballs, the forehead, the scalp. Breathing deeply here and surrendering muscular tension with each exhale. An exhale will guide you back to center, knees coming into chest one more time. Here, I'll invite you to find a subtle rock from side to side or any other gentle movements that your body is desiring. You might try to bring your nose towards your knees once or twice. And when you're ready, releasing into a pose of Shavasana. Now, some of us might be craving some inversion time. So I would recommend your legs up onto a prop or even up onto a wall for your inversion, if that's the case. I'll bring us back to that grounding energy of the gong here as you settle yourself in for this most potent pose of our practice together, this pose of Shavasana, translated as corpse pose. We explore a mini death, a practice death, a full letting go in this moment, in this body, in this breath, resting in a space of pure potential, planting seeds of hope and well-being and peace across our planet. observing the rise and fall of your breath. Slowly bringing your attention to the fingers and the toes. Gradually inviting them to reanimate. Gathering your knees towards your chest. Taking all the time you need. Slowly rolling to your side and eventually rising to sit. We can bring our palms together in our heart space. Rest our chin towards our chest. Pause for a moment, acknowledging our own inner wisdom, with gratitude for its guidance to this very point in time and space. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within guide you all the way on. Namaste. Thank you all so very much for being here now.